Is the much anticipated Nikon ZF going to be happening tomorrow? Will it have a stacked sensor? Well, Nikon Rumor says that they're beginning to have cold feet. So what's changed? Stick around after this short break for all the details. But first, please do me a favor. Follow me on X, formerly Twitter, but most importantly, please subscribe to this channel. It doesn't cost you anything, it really helps this channel grow, and it keeps you up to date on the latest camera gear, news, and rumors. Nikon Rumor's latest story says it all. New Nikon ZF 45 megapixel full frame retro mirrorless camera for $2,000 sounds too good to be true. I am now skeptical. And like Nikon Rumors, I too was skeptical, and that was long before Sony Alpha Rumors came out and said that it was going to have a stacked sensor. But putting the stacked sensor aside and that it's going to be $2,000 and 45 megapixels, let's talk about the date. Now, as far as the date being postponed, that isn't, well, it's not the craziest idea. And that's one thing that Sony Alpha Rumors did get correct. Just a couple of days ago, Sony Alpha Rumors said that the Nikon ZF isn't going to be happening on August the 2nd. It's going to be delayed days or even weeks, but it's definitely happening this month. And what was most puzzling about that post is it was Sony Alpha Rumors covering Nikon Rumors. And normally if we want Nikon Rumors, we go to Nikon, Sony to Sony Alpha Rumors, and for Canon, well, Canon Rumors. So it was rather strange that Sony Alpha Rumors came out with a post, said among other things that the date's going to change, and now we get validation from Nikon Rumors that, well, it's not supposed to be happening tomorrow. But the one thing that Sony Alpha Rumors did say about the Nikon ZF full-frame mirrorless retro-looking camera is that it's going to have a stacked sensor. That's correct, the exact same stacked sensor as the Nikon Z8 and the Nikon Z9. And I think there was maybe the amount of fingers I have on my hand, including the thumb, is about how many people that said, yeah, you know what, a stacked sensor, I'm looking forward to it, that sounds great. The vast majority of you said, yeah, I'm not buying it. For $2,000, for under $2,000, $19.99, we're going to get a 45 megapixel stack sensor, the same one found in the Nikon Z8 and the Nikon Z9. Yeah, it's not going to happen. But here we are today, we're facing something interesting. We've got Sony Alpha Rumors getting the date correct that it's not going to happen on August the 2nd and that it's going to be delayed, happening sometime in August. And Nikon Rumors saying they're confused. So does that mean a stack sensor is going to happen after all? No, I mean, these are rumors after all, and until we get some sort of validation, the whole idea of a stacked sensor on the Nikon ZF full-frame mirrorless camera, retro-style camera, I'm just not buying it myself. It's not that it's not possible, they could certainly do it. But from a business point of view, to come out with a camera with the same stacked sensor as the Nikon Z8 and Nikon Z9, that's a bit far-fetched. Now, to have the exact same image processor, that certainly makes a lot more sense. And I'm wondering if somewhere wires are getting crossed, at least when it comes to this camera. So from everything we can glean on the Nikon ZF full-frame mirrorless retro design camera, it's not going to be announced tomorrow on August the 2nd. And if this camera was to get a stacked sensor, it's going to be a big deal. And instead of Nikon just putting it out there, surprising us and not giving us any sort of announcement event, I don't buy that either. If this camera does have a stacked sensor, you can rest assured that Nikon's going to schedule some sort of event. Maybe give us a week, maybe give us 2 weeks, but it's definitely going to be scheduled. They're not just going to throw it on us, surprise us. Oh, and here, by the way, folks, it's a $2,000 camera with a stack sensor from the Nikon Z8, the Nikon Z9. It's got a lot of goodies in it, and yeah, a few minor things that we're doing to try and segment it or cripple it is, well, a single card slot, and we're going to make it so it's only good up to V60. We'll work with V90, but you're not going to get the speed. And of course, you're not going to get 20 frames per second lossless RAW because V60 cards won't allow that. Yeah, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. When it comes to rumors, one thing I've learned over 4 years of doing this is without any validation, don't take it with a large grain of salt. Don't expect it to happen. And at this point, the only thing we've gotten validation on is that it's not happening tomorrow. In terms of the specifications, well, those are up in the air, although the price from both Nikon Rumors and Sony Alpha Rumors are pointing to $1,999. Oh, and that sensor, I don't think it's going to have a 45 megapixel stack sensor of the Nikon Z8, but it's certainly plausible that they could use the same sensor from the Nikon Z7 Mark II and put it in the Nikon ZF. Interesting, right? Well, if you want to stay up to date on all the latest news and rumors specifically regarding the Nikon ZF full-frame mirrorless retro design camera, well, then go ahead and subscribe. But make sure you also choose all notifications. And if you've been watching this channel for a while and you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do so. It really helps get this channel noticed. And for all those minor news and rumors, all those stories out there that aren't quite big enough to have their own separate video, then follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter, because I'm always tweeting stuff out. So the latest news on cameras, the latest prices, the latest leaks, all that stuff that isn't quite big enough to have its own separate channel. And if I could ask you to do one more thing, and that's use my affiliate links for Adorama and B&H. I get anywhere from 2 to 12% back, and all that money goes back into supporting this channel. That's how I'm able to afford gear such as the Canon EOS R5, and why I've committed to buying the EOS R5 Mark II and the Canon EOS R1. And hopefully in 2024 I can start to expand to start buying Nikon and Sony cameras and maybe some more expensive lenses. So thank you for everybody who has used my affiliate links. It's very much appreciated. But that's it for now. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you again soon, and we'll just have to wait and see where this Nikon ZF goes. I'm really curious. It's kind of like one of those murder mysteries, whodunits. What exactly is going on with this camera? When's it going to be announced? What's it going to sell for? And what are the capabilities going to be? Anyhow, folks, I'm going outside. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you again soon.